Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome to the live stream. What we're going to be talking about today is blues shuffle rhythms. A lot of people come in for lessons and they have a lot of trouble playing rhythm guitar, especially on a blues, right? And if you want to have quintessential rhythm elements in your playing, you want to be able to play a shuffle for a blues. So what are we talking about, right? Well, we're talking about this sound right here. You want to have a blues shuffle that swings, right? And so what is the secret? Okay, this is how you do this. You need to be able to count in time to be able to catch this wave, okay? And it has to do with being able to count eighths, like eighth notes, right? So basic counting is in 4/4 time. We're in 4/4 time, which is 4 beats in the measure, okay? Common time, which most blues is going to be in 4/4. So you need to be able to first count the beats, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, etc. And that would be on a click, right? So everybody's favorite practice tool, the metronome. It's good if you have one of these. If you don't have a metronome, it's a good idea to get one, or at least get a metronome app, because it will help you out tremendously. But, okay, how would we count this? It's on the clicks, right? So if you have your metronome, you set it on, okay, each click is a beat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Now, to be able to catch the blues shuffle wave, though, if you want to catch playing a cool shuffle, you need to be able to count the eighths, okay? Which is putting an N in between the numbers, the beats. So that's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, right? And how does that work? Well, you want to get it right in between the beats. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, right? Okay, why is this important, you may be asking yourself at this very moment? Well, the reason it's important is because that is the secret to unlocking quintessential blues shuffle rhythm guitar playing. You need to be able to swing with the eighth. Right? And what do I mean by that? You may be asking yourself again. Okay, well, what I mean by that is that the essence of a good blues shuffle, right? A really cool blues shuffle is being able to play on the first beat and on the end of the second beat. So that one's in between beats 2 and 3. And if you don't know, let's put it this way, if you're not aware of that, your blues shuffle rhythms are going to sound kind of weird. They're not really going to swing, and it's going to give you trouble to be able to really lock in with a rhythm section, or to play any kind of cool blues shuffle, right? So let's slow down. We're going to refer to our metronome as our drummer. Okay, we're going to slow the drummer down for a second. Okay, because I'm also going to show you a cool way to use this, which goes beyond just every click being a beat, which makes it even more like a drummer. But we'll get to that in a minute, okay? But you want to be able to play on the first beat and the end of the second beat to have a good blues shuffle. So what does that mean? Well, let me demonstrate, right? Okay. We're in the key of A. So we're going to be looking at an A7 chord in this case, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. There's our beats, okay? So we want to be able to now count the eighths. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, because we want to strum on the first beat and on the end of the second beat, right? So it's like actually I did cut time. I'm gonna slow it down more. So 1, 2, right? 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4, right? 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4, like that. So there's in the most simple form. I turned up a little bit because we just needed to hear a little more there. But okay, so that is it in a nutshell. So the way that you want to practice this is by throwing your chords, your 1, 4, 5 progression, which is what we're looking at today, on top of this shuffle rhythm, right? So now that we understand the nuts and bolts of this, right? At first, just practice it slow like that to get that feel. Then you can set your metronome a little faster. Right? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, right? 1, 2, and 3, 4. So there we have the basics. And we hear this kind of rhythm a lot with a lot of old Motown and soul and definitely in blues. So now, how can we practice this so that it sounds a little less mechanical, right? Because to get it, well, you know, have the clicks on every beat and go slow. But once you get on the horse here, this is how now you want to start using your metronome like a drummer in a box. And okay, how do we do that? Well, the way to do that is to set it slow, like in the mid 40s or mid 50s, and you want to count these clicks as primary and secondary downbeat. Okay, and what that means is that you have, in this case, it's going to be a click on the first and the third beats. Okay, and that's how we'll use this example of drummer in a box. Our downbeats are going to be on the first and the third beat. You could also do it on the 2 and the 4, but for today, we'll just stay on the 1 and the 3. Okay? So, what that means is that, well, we already know that there's a second and a fourth beat in here, right? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. Now, I know this might seem kind of like boring theory kind of stuff, but it's important that you're able to do this, because if you can do this and you do it for a short while practicing this way, you're going to find your rhythm guitar is going to explode. It's going to sound really cool, all right? And it'll also give you a better internal sense of time, but that's what you want to do with this. Is we have a drummer in a box, literally right here, with a primary and a secondary downbeat. Okay? So we want to be able to incorporate the shuffle rhythm with our drummer in a box playing primary and secondary downbeats. So obviously our first strum is going to be on that first click, but we need to be able to count those other beats in between the secondary, primary, and secondary downbeat, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you want to get that eighth feel, which we need for the shuffle, you want to get the ends in there, right? 1, 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, because now we want to be able to get that end second beat, the end strum, for a shuffle, right? So we'll count in, right? 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 1, and and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, right? So now you got it moving a little faster in a more realistic kind of rhythm. For a shuffle is going to be faster. Around anywhere really between 100 and 120 is where you'll find most shuffles, most of the time. So you want to be able to set your metronome. Remember, setting the metronome this way, half of the number, right? If you're looking at 120, you want to set your metronome at 60. If you want to have a BPM of 100 beats per minute, right, you want to set your metronome at 50. Just cut it in half, and that's the ticket to being able to use the metronome and get it at the right tempo. So right now, we are at about 112. So we'll roll with that, which is where you'll find them shuffle in 112. Yeah, you'll find them up here, right? For sure, right? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay. So that, in essence, is what you need to do if you want to be able to play a good shuffle. You want to get this down where you can play on the 1 and on the end of the 2 with the chords in your blues progression. Now, once you get used to this, you can start to embellish it a little bit with some half-step moves, you know, up into chords. Half step below and up, or half step above and down, right? Little things like that. And it's easier once you can just go ahead and catch this wave. Now, another quick tidbit of awesomeness for how to bring your chords to sound a little more uptown, right? A 13 chord on your 1 and a 9 chord for the 4 and 5, right? And in this case, being a 1, 4, 5 in A, we're looking at A as the 1 chord, D as your 4 chord, right, and E chords as the 5. So you want to have an A13, a D9, and an E9, and check it out. I'll show you real quick. If you don't know how to play those chords, you can add these into your chord vocabulary, and it'll work in any key. We're just in A right now, but A13, a real quick, easy way to play A13. Think of the big old major bar chord that we all know, right? Now, you want to take your pinky, right? In this case, we're playing A at the 5th fret. Put your pinky here on the 7th fret of the B string, and you have just achieved A13, okay? And this is a 13 chord anywhere you play it. The root note's on the low E string, so you can move it down 2 frets and you have a G13, you know? Go way up here to the 10th fret and you have a D13. But in our case, we're at the 5th fret with the root at the low E at the 5th. A note, 13 chord shape, A13. And there is that chord. And the 9 chord. Okay. D9 and E9 are going to be the same shape, and what that is going to be is a bar with your 3rd finger. On the high E, B, and G string here at the 5th fret, you want to take your 2nd finger and plop it down on the A string at the 5th fret. And here's an option. You don't always have to play this note in your 9 chord. You could just do it this way, kind of like Freddie Green would do it. Or you put the 3rd in with your 1st finger here at the 4th fret of the D string, and you have this bread and butter chord shape for a 9, right? And that's the one that we're using, this one. Okay, and that's for both E and D9. Okay. Okay, so have fun with this. Now that you know some cool color chords, some extra chord action, and bring your blues uptown, and you could do a nice uptown shuffle now and add that into your bag of cool guitar things to do. So if you are new to the channel, hey man, like, share, subscribe to the channel, tick the notification bell to be on your way to playing better guitar. Yes. Because I post weekly, and like today, I do these live stream events too, so you don't want to miss out. Be the first to know when all these good things are going down. Also, if you'd like to help support the channel, check out the few things that I have in my links, okay? The stuff that will help you get your chops up, and it helps me, obviously, keep bringing you the content out here on YouTube. Okay, that is it for today's live stream. We will see you again soon, and peace out. Rock on. Have a good one, and happy Turkey Day, everybody. Hope you all had a good time yesterday with Turkey Day. All right, see you again soon.